India as a society, we are great at not taking care of our health. You will find that the biggest records कि जी सबसे बड़ा रसौली कहाँ से निकला, some Indian patient.
For us, having all these problems are like very normal.
And all brain related issues are invisible anyway.
Exactly. It's still stigma and taboo. How do you exactly take care of your own mental health?
Well, I will say that my primary focus is on getting.
I used to think that I'm getting heart attack. I'm like, doctor, I think I'm getting heart attack. I'm so young. What's wrong with me? I used to ask this.
Something very bad is going to happen, and I don't understand what's happening.
What's happening? What kind of issues, brain health, problems and conditions you are coming across among teenagers?
The biggest problem which I see today are the to which our young kids are exposed. They are programmed. They are created with the best knowledge of human behavior to not serve the human but to serve the. We understand that social media is a fake society, but teenagers come to me with the complaint that somebody has.
You come across these kind of cases. So today's episode is very close to my heart because we have discussed something which is related to almost each one of us. So many of us go through this and we do not even talk about it because many times talking about panic attacks, being on anti-anxiety pills, having suicidal thoughts, high functioning depression, adult ADHD, all these topics we have knowledge, but we don't want to accept that we can be one of those who are suffering from it. So if you are someone who is able to resonate with all the conditions that I'm talking about, any of it, then today's episode is definitely meant for you. Today we have Dr. Satyen Sharma, who has more than 18 years of experience in human psychology. He is a very leading psychiatrist, helping thousands and thousands of people in his career. He would be sharing everything that we want to acknowledge, but we find it difficult to accept, and how not to just acknowledge and then come out of it. So today's episode is going to change your life for the best. Do watch it completely and do let us know how did you find it. Thank you so much. Doc, first of all, thank you so much for taking out time. We all know that you are super busy and still you took out time. And today you are here to help, guide all our followers as far as their mental health is concerned. Right. So first of all, thank you so very much.
So I should thank you, Amrita, for arranging all this at such a short notice.
Thank you. The honor and the happiness is all ours. And doctor, I want to ask this question that you have successfully treated more than 27,000 mental health cases in in your career. So what exactly helped you get into this particular career? Was it always you were interested in human psychology, or was there someone in your family who probably inspired you to this journey?
Right. So when I went into my medical college, I think I was very clear that now I'm going to become a doctor and I'll be in Forge, so my life is sorted.
Okay.
But by the time I passed out, I started having some doubts about whether I should be continuing in medicine. I started finding that I was more of a management guy, right? Oh. But both my parents are doctors. I come from a family of doctors, engineers, technocrats mostly. So that when I shared that with them, that probably I would love to explore management as a career. They did ask me this question that, is there anything in medicine which would be exciting for you or which you would find interesting? And I'm a second generation psychiatrist. Yeah. My father retired as the head of the department, Medical College Patiala, and he stayed in that position for almost 20 years. I had seen him working in this field, and I think human behavior is something which all of us are interested in.
Very true.
Right? It's very true. Fascinating, and to deepen your knowledge about it, it's to a curious mind. It was a very worthy challenge. So I shared that I would love to go into psychiatry as a branch, right? And because I was very clear that this branch is still evolving. right? And
Right.
today we can safely say that probably it's the last frontier,
Yes.
the human brain, right? Our behavior, the world around us, the world which we have built for ourselves. It's in the end all a product of various human brains coming together and doing things the way they do them,
Very
right?
true. Very true.
So
So
that's how I ended up in psychiatry, and I've thoroughly enjoyed my
so
career
you are
and
like
my work.
extremely happy that you chose that
Oh
as
yes,
your
yes, yes.
career. Okay.
And
Okay.
even to young doctors who are struggling with the idea that which branch they should choose, I'll say that even if you have a little interest in human
In human
behavior,
behavior.
in making the human condition better, right? This is a very satisfying branch to
Yeah.
work in.
And unfortunately, we can definitely say that, the need to have more, like unfortunately, because there are so many cases that we always and always come across. So even though we don't want to say this in a good way,
Hmm.
but people do need more psychiatrists and people who can help in this particular industry. Do
Agreed.
you also
Agreed.
feel the same?
It is a reality, yes. In fact, in the around 2015-16, there was a WHO article which I was reading, and it said that by 2020, psychological and mental health related issues are going to overtake cardiovascular issues as the leading cause of loss of productive man hours.
My goodness. And that time
Right.
COVID had not even hit.
No, they had not taken COVID into consideration,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But when COVID came, I think all of us suddenly got this huge stressor, and a common shared problem where we were put into very unnatural constructs.
Very true.
Our life could no longer continue the way it always was. It wasn't business as usual. It was a very, what one would call a
Different
black
and
swan event, right? A
very
once in a
true.
lifetime experience, which made a lot of people relook at their
Hmm.
life priorities, how we are living it, what kind of a life we are creating for ourselves, right? I many a time say this, that almost every virus, a new virus, when it is discovered, it comes with both a problem and a gift for humanity.
So very true. So very true.
So
That's exactly why I
19,
always say that
yeah,
COVID is, I don't like to say it that way, but
yeah,
it's actually a gift because I discovered this aspect of my life because of
yes,
COVID.
yes.
Yeah. So what you're
So
saying is so very
1980s,
true.
1980s, if you remember, there was HIV/AIDS,
Ah,
right?
yes. Yes.
It came out. It came out as a threat. It came as a life-ending virus, right? Everybody was very scared. Today, of course, HIV is something which is completely manageable.
Very true.
If you are discovered, diagnosed with HIV positive, you can hope to live a near normal life. You can
Normal.
marry, have kids, everything can happen. But at that point in time, the gift it gave us was that we started talking about safe sex.
Ah,
We
very
started
true.
talking about a taboo topic which nobody
Nobody
was,
wanted to speak
touching,
otherwise. Very
right?
true.
And COVID, I think the gift of COVID was we started talking about mental health.
Wow. This is so beautifully
Hmm.
put that, you are actually want to focus on the gift side of COVID, which normally
We
people don't
should,
want to talk about.
right?
Very
And of
true.
course, it's much more attractive and easier to get
Caught with.
caught up in the
Yeah.
negativity of the things,
Very true. Very
and
true.
not see the silver lining and the positive aspects
So
which
true.
every event has brought.
So true. So true,
Hmm.
doctor. So, doctor, as a psychiatrist, what is according to you the most misunderstood aspect in mental health?
Okay, I'm so glad that you asked me this, Amrita, because this is a very good starting point where I want people to understand that, bhai, in the end, let's not even use the word mental. Let's use the word brain and brain health,
Yeah, brain
right?
health. Yeah.
Because mental health, I believe, is to some extent stigmatizing,
Yeah.
right? Let's start by
Am I mad?
understanding.
Is the question that comes.
Yeah, let's not say. I
Yeah.
mean, in my entire career, I can assure you, I have never met even a single mad person. I have only met people with
Yeah, some
various
very
brain health diagnoses and
yes.
conditions, right?
So
And
beautifully put.
and I'm lucky that I'm living in a time and the science has progressed to that stage where we can help these people.
Yeah, where the awareness can be created.
Not only awareness,
Yeah,
solutions also,
solutions also, of
right?
course.
Awareness, yes.
Yes.
What you are doing right now is so very valuable to me.
Yeah.
because we'll be able to break down the mythology and the misconception and the aura around
Yeah.
so-called mental health issues.
Very true.
Let's talk about the brain. What is the brain? What does it do? And how do we make life better for the brain? Because your quality of life will, in the end, depend on how well this organ is working.
Very true.
Right?
That's so true.
Hmm.
And don't you think, doctor, unfortunately, in school, colleges, we do not even discuss about these things the way it
Yes.
should, because I come across so many people who are highly educated, like,
Yes.
from IITs, IIMs, all the Ivy League universities,
Hmm.
and totally broken in their, in their
Yes.
life. So it's not
Yes.
like to demean or anything, but just to, that makes us realize that this mental health, if you have everything in your life, but if you don't have capacity to manage your emotional health,
Yes.
nothing is going to,
Then your
actually
quality of life will suffer.
help. Very, very,
And
very
very
true.
significantly. And I'm very glad that you took the point of well-educated,
Yeah,
intelligent brains.
yeah.
So many times I use the example that, look, if you are somebody who's using your brain for your livelihood on a day-to-day basis, that means you have a good brain, right? You're not using just your body. You're not
Exactly.
just a daily wage worker. I mean, full respect to the labor and the work which they do, but they are not using their brain to the extent to which, say, a computer programmer or a senior management guy is doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So when your entire work efficiency depends on how well this organ works, you should be more aware of how to keep it in, good condition.
Wow. Very true. Very,
Right?
very true. Very true.
अब एक साइकिल है, there is a
Yeah.
bicycle.
Yeah.
If there is a problem, चेन उतर गया उसका, आप उसको उल्टा पैडल मारोगे, चेन चढ़ाओगे, जिंदगी चल जाएगी. No problem. But in a multi-million dollar jet, even if one screw is not in the right orientation or in the right place, you cannot hope for the jet to take off.
Very true.
That's why most good planes, yachts, and more complex machines require regular maintenance.
Very true.
And the higher their work capacity, the more efficient, the more, the more money is riding on them, the more emphasis on keeping them in
Perfect
proper
condition.
working condition.
Very true.
Right? So why don't we do the same,
For
for our
our
own,
brains.
this
Yeah.
master organ, which is
Exactly.
going to determine the quality of your life and the life of people around you and everybody you love and everything which you stand for.
Very true. In today's world, doctor, I also feel that people have all sort of knowledge.
Yes.
Like I'm sure you also must be coming across most of the people who come with everything that they can use on themselves and come out of it, but that
Right.
doesn't happen.
Right.
Implementation is one thing that always is lacking.
And
And from
that gives me such a great example which I want to share. I'm sorry, I'm
Yeah.
kind of interrupting
Yeah,
because
yeah,
otherwise I'll
please.
forget.
Yes, please. I love
So-
that you're interrupting.
so medical decision making is a complex process. I'll give you the example of one of the most brilliant brains which the world has ever seen. Steve Jobs.
Okay.
6 industries that one brain was able to disrupt. From smartphones to animation to, some people say that even the internet was invented on a Nexus machine, right? Which
yes.
Steve Jobs was in charge of. To the way we buy music today, streaming
very
services,
true.
iTunes and all. That man, there is no doubt about it that he was a fantastic brain.
Yeah.
Right, which disrupted 6 different industries, and he is even remembered today as a pioneer.
Yeah.
When it came to his own health,
Yes.
he had pancreatic cancer,
Yeah.
which was diagnosed early.
Hmm.
He had the option to go for a surgery and be cured of it. He took the decision to not go for what was scientifically established treatment, but try some naturopathy on himself, which delayed the decision of actually going in for proper medical treatment.
Okay. So
And we lost him at a very young age.
someone as bright as
Yes.
Steve Jobs can
Yes.
make these mistakes, then people,
So I do not judge anyone.
yes, exactly.
I understand many a times people come to me after exhausting all kinds of
Everything,
options,
yes,
from
yes.
faith healers to trying out things which they feel might help.
Yeah, very true.
Right?
And then
Because
nothing works, they finally
then
come to
finally
you.
they do come to me, and I
Yeah.
do have to hold myself back to not admonish them, to
Very
not
true.
not judge
Demean
them, but
judge them.
to help them. At, of course, like any disease, like any process, the earlier you catch it, the better the outcome.
Very true, very true,
Right?
very true.
And I do see that, had I got hold of this patient 2 years back, 3 years back, 5 years back,
The
I
result would
could have
been
done it
different.
so much better.
Yes, very true.
Right? But
very
it's
true.
okay. Whenever a person has come to me, my job is not to judge.
Yeah. You're
My
at least
job is
grateful that
to-
person has come to you.
Yes, that from here onwards,
Yeah.
let's see what best we can do.
Super, very true.
Right?
So, doctor, now coming to the next question, we are seeing huge amount of, panic attacks and anxiety attacks.
Yes.
So, first, there are two questions. First, I want to understand, is there any difference between the panic attack and anxiety attack? Because people nowadays use it very lightly.
Interchangeably and
Yeah, and
very
second
loosely.
is, according to you, especially after COVID, why suddenly, this is almost had become an epidemic where, all out of 4 to 5 normal looking people, suffer from anti-anxiety,
Yes.
like they are on anti-anxiety pills
Yes.
or having all these issues. So can you help us with this?
Sure. See, we definitely should look at COVID as a black swan event. It's a once in a lifetime thing which happened and which disrupted life as we know it.
Very
Right?
true.
And it happened for a couple of years. The second wave was actually much more deadlier and much more, traumatic for all of us.
Trust me, it was the worst phase of my life, but it also brought best part in me.
I'm sure, right? Because adversity, bad times do bring out the best in people.
Yeah.
They do that, right?
Yeah.
So it's not that there are known facts that very good times tend to make people soft and not as resilient and as creative as they can be, which difficult times bring.
Okay,
Right? Difficult times do bring out the best in people.
Yes, because you just want to survive and come out of it.
Yes, and you find new ways.
Yeah, new way to.
You are forced to think outside the box.
So very true. So
Right?
very true.
So COVID, let's consider it as a mega stress which humanity faced as a whole. Anxiety is just one symptom out of the entire plethora of so-called mental health conditions and diseases which people can exhibit. Right? And I've shared in another podcast with Neeraj that that entire vocabulary is evolving. How we define mental health issues, how we put it or try to make sense of it by putting it under various labels. It's an evolving science. And anxiety and panic attack are in the end the same process, just at different levels of intensity. Like you asked, right? So panic attack is a sense of imminent doom. It lasts for only a few minutes, maybe 15 to 20 minutes, but that experience is deeply traumatic.
Yeah, it's scary,
And
very scary. I
very
have gone
scary.
through it, so I know exactly. In
Right?
22, I have actually gone through it.
A panic
I
attack.
was, and I did not know. I used to
Absolutely.
think that I'm getting heart attack.
Yes.
I'm like, doctor, I think I'm
Yes.
getting heart attack. I'm so young. What's wrong with me? I
Life
used
is
to
coming
ask
to
this.
an end.
Exactly.
Something very bad is going to happen,
Very
and I don't understand what's happening.
What's happening? Very
Right?
true. Very true.
So that is the experience of it. And like you very rightly said, a lot of people think it's a heart attack.
Yeah.
But your cardiogram comes out normal.
Exactly.
There is nothing
More
wrong
than
with the
7
heart.
to 8 ECGs in span of 6 months is what I have gone through,
Absolutely.
doctor.
Right. My
And
God. My heart goes out to you because it is a harrowing experience.
Exactly.
And it's not only the episode, it's the time between the episodes which is again filled with so much of
Exactly.
worry,
Yeah.
so much of anticipating कि अब अगली बार कब होगा.
Exactly. And here, doctor, I just want to ask one question, which is related to my experience. And I also come across many patients today who share the same thing.
Right.
I want to know from your perspective, many times it happens that when a person is going through a stressful situation, they do not feel that stress and they do
Yes.
not get that panic attack or
Yes.
anxiety attack the way we are talking. When things are normal,
That is
then
when it
suddenly,
hits.
like I used to, like I have gone through a lot of stress. I have lost a very close person to COVID. I was fine at that time. I could manage my emotions, everything well. And then when things are normal, when I feel that things are getting normal, me, my spouse, my child, we are like sitting, having fun. Suddenly I am having sweaty palms.
Yes.
My heartbeat is
Yes.
increasing. My blood pressure is shot to like 180, 100. And I don't know. So why does this happen that when you are going through stressful situation, you don't feel it?
Right.
But when everything is fine, you get that attack. So what exactly happens
This
within?
is, I'm so glad you are asking me this,
This is
because
coming from personal experience.
right, and we so need to put the record straight as to exactly what's happening.
Yeah, I
right?
am putting my very
Personal
very
and
personal, yeah, and I'm putting very
yes,
brave face. But right now, I know what's exactly
I can
happening.
totally
I am just
understand.
going back to those moments where my child used to look at me as like, "Am I losing my mom?"
Yes.
That kind of thing. So,
Yes.
doctor, please, I really want to know
Okay,
that what exactly happens.
let's
then.
break it down. When the stress is happening, when more demands are there on you, your body brain goes into a hyper work mode. You understand your responsibilities,
Yes.
your adrenaline starts pumping, and you say, I have to solve this.
Hmm.
I do not have the luxury
Hmm.
of breaking down right now. I have to solve it. Because who else is going to do it? You don't see
Yes.
anybody who's going
Yeah.
to manage it. I have to manage it.
Yes.
So you step up.
Yeah.
And your body brain, it brings out its second wind, it brings out its reserves, it brings out every ounce of whatever you have to give your brain more bandwidth so that you can be effective in managing that situation at that point in time. And you manage that
Manage
situation.
it very well. You feel good about yourself.
Absolutely.
Yes, I did
Yes.
well.
And you actually have done it
Yeah.
well. When other people are probably losing their mind
Yeah.
and they are panicking
So
and they
very
are
true.
they are not able to make the right decision, you're able to step in and bring sanity to that very crisis oriented situation. Right?
Very true.
Right?
Yes.
So at that time your body is working on,
Yes, understood.
it is redlining. The engine, to use a very car term, is redlining. Now you are working on a very high level of revolutions per minute, RPM.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
But when that high RPM stage is gone, once I again try to come back to the normal cruise mode, some damage has happened to the engine.
Oh, yes.
Right? Engines are not, there is a reason why we call it redlining. You are not supposed to go into that zone for very long. But the demands were such. You had no choice.
Yes.
You had to redline the engine. When you come back to cruise mode, now all those traumas which have been created, all those extra stresses which your brain has taken, now the vulnerabilities start showing up.
Okay.
Right?
Now you don't have to put up that brave face.
No. Now you are suddenly relaxed
and soft
but
again.
But the damage has been done, right? And now to acknowledge that, yes, I had extraordinary stresses on me. I went through it bravely. Don't question yourself, why am I feeling this? I should not be feeling this. No, we are human.
Many people lose a lot of time on this.
Yes,
Why me?
Going into guilt, going into self-questioning, going into negative self-talk. अरे ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए था मेरे साथ. Acknowledge it. It's happening. All emotions and all conditions are valid. You are a human being.
Okay.
You are not a perfect machine which has to be perfect at all times. We are not. We are not. Even machines are not designed to be that machine-like.
Very true. Very
right?
true.
And I use the example of a machine for this.
Yeah, because at one point even we are working like machine only.
We are.
24/7.
Modern life, I repeatedly say that it is very brain unfriendly. At no point in human history was this much stress to be perfect at all times there. Life was slower.
Yeah.
Demands on us were lesser.
Yeah.
And it's going to get worse, unfortunately. It's going to get worse for the coming generations and the coming times.
Okay.
Because like we said, in the end, it's a fight between the brain's ability to maintain that equilibrium and the stresses around us.
So
and what is stress? It is
changing
with which the brain has to deal. So your brain dealt with change at a high level of performance.
Yeah. So every time it wants to get vulnerable,
so now,
it shows.
Now that you are in normal mode, acknowledge that high level of productivity has done some damage.
Yeah.
And you need now self-care.
This gives such a logical answer, doctor.
Yes.
So
now is the time to, again, using the car example or the metaphor. now the car needs to go through a good servicing.
Yes. So what
And
exactly
and
that good servicing for humans?
so yes,
What kind of
good,
procedure
great.
we need to follow?
So not only are we going to now try and get into a lower stress lifestyle,
Mhm.
we will also need to start identifying what vulnerabilities have been exposed. Like in
Okay.
your case, anxiety was there,
Yeah.
panic episodes happened.
Yeah.
Of course, natural
Extreme
suspicion would
level of
be
stress,
कि
which was
heart
difficult to
attack है क्या?
manage. Yeah.
Comes out heart attack नहीं है.
Yeah.
Where does brain health start? When you are physically okay everywhere,
Yeah.
but there is a problem,
Yes.
which is outside your area of control.
Control and understanding, like
Yes.
what's wrong with me?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is the time when we need to sit with an expert and ask that देखो बॉस स्ट्रेस तो निकल गया बट ये मेरे अंदर जो है सिम्टम्स आ रहे हैं आई वांट टू एड्रेस
Yeah. No, doctor, I would give my own example how I worked on it.
Yeah.
And I want all my followers also to know because I don't share this
Yes.
so openly. So when I, realize that, I'm going through some sort of, issues that I'm not able to understand.
Yes.
And there is no physical problem because of ECGs and all.
Right.
So my GP told me that, Amrita, you know what? You have to meet a psychiatrist. And my first question was, no, doctor, I'm not mad.
पागल थोड़ी हूँ
मैं पागल हो क्या मुझे कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो गया है क्या एंड इज लाइक नो यू डोंट नीड टू बी अ मैड पर्सन टू गो टू अ साइकियाट्रिस्ट
Yes.
बट यू नीड एन एक्सपर्ट टू help you come out of it. Until
Managing
then,
this organ
yes,
better,
and I had
that's
not
it.
come across all this, energy healing and everything. So obviously, so what worked with me was, meeting right person, meeting right doctor, him making me realize that okay, there is nothing wrong. You're not mad.
No.
You're not mental.
Absolutely
This happens with many people. I'm happy you're acknowledging it.
Wonderful.
I was put on medicines, and similarly during the same time I also came across journaling and working on my
Fantastic.
emotions, both things together, and certain therapies with the the
So both treatment as
everything-
well as a
everything
lifestyle
worked.
change.
and 3-4
Right?
months I was out.
Wonderful.
So just 3 months, and my doctor said that you don't need to be on medicines, Amrita. See, you were never mad, and you are.
Fantastic.
And then when I told him that this is all what I have done, he was the first person who told me that, you know what, you should create awareness because your own, what
So
you have
nice.
gone through.
Yes.
And that gave me that first, I still very well remember that thought, should I help people? But my question was to doctor, who is going to believe in me? Because लोग मुझे ही बोलेंगे कि अरे you are only gone through all this, why should we believe? Like exactly the same reason people will believe in you.
Exactly.
Because you know how it feels.
Your lived experience.
Exactly.
They will
Exactly.
relate with it.
Very, very
Right?
true.
And having now overcome it.
Exactly.
Right?
Very,
You are a success story.
Yes.
I will say that you are my brand ambassador for brain health.
yes.
Please, I want people who have a journey to share, especially, the positive effect which you felt
Yeah.
with medicines.
Yeah.
Right? So, you were able to take the right decisions,
Yes.
even
I'm
though.
now realizing this,
Huh.
that, otherwise this podcast wouldn't have happened from my end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So once you overcome it,
Yes.
once you have conquered a certain condition, I think it then becomes your duty
Exactly.
to now spread the light.
Yeah. And I feel that, whatever doctor I have seen, I'm sure you also must have seen such kind of success stories where
Yes.
people have gone through difficult time.
Yes.
They came out of it. And at that moment they realize कि अरे इसमें से अगर हम लोग बाहर आ सकते हैं तो हम लोग कुछ भी कर सकते हैं.
Absolutely.
So that, because
Your
I was not at
confidence-
all like that. The kind of
Yeah.
confidence it has given me
Yeah.
is like now it's, making sense that, finally I'm discussing with the person who truly makes everything,
Yeah.
logical.
So we all have a role to play.
Very, very true, very true. I'm so glad this conversation is happening because I have people know that I have gone through it, but I have never discussed it in this detail. Now, doctor, coming to the next question, I am a mother to a teenager.
Right.
Okay, so from a psychiatrist point of view, what kind of issues, brain health, problems and conditions you are coming across among teenagers?
Okay. So the biggest disruption and the biggest problem which I see today are the screens to which our young kids are exposed to.
Very true.
Right? Now, what happens? Number one, all those different apps and all those different things on the screen they are designed to keep you there on the screen for the longest time possible for the benefit of the company which is running that app.
Very true. Very
right?
true. Yeah.
And it comes at the cost of a few very normal things. Number one, boredom.
Yeah.
Our teenagers today don't have the luxury of
Yes.
boredom.
Mama,
They
I'm getting
cannot be
bored.
bored.
Give me my cell phone.
So they are constantly distracted. Right?
Yes.
The second casualty is not moving enough. Physical movement,
Yeah.
sport, exercise.
They lose interest the moment they get addicted
Because exactly,
the
and
screen.
addiction probably
Yeah.
is the right word to
Yeah.
use
Yeah.
in case of devices, because they are programmed, they are
Yeah.
created with the best knowledge of human behavior to not serve the human but to serve the tablet,
Very true. So
to
very
serve
true.
that company which is
Yeah.
making that tech.
Yeah, very true.
Right? It is not healthy for the brain. So what it does, I see in young people, delayed gratification is no longer there. They want everything instantly right now.
Immediately, very true.
Right?
Very
And
true.
we have, unfortunately, all those apps where you can order things and they'll be delivered in 10 minutes, 5 minutes.
Very
right?
true.
So waiting for things is not happening.
Yeah.
So frustration happens very quickly.
Yeah, so no patience.
and
They do not
no
know
patience.
what is the meaning of patience only.
Right.
So very true.
That is a problem.
Yeah.
Right? I would and how can parents make it better for the kids is by also becoming a positive example. For
Okay.
example, if you can identify a particular day, and it's very tough.
Yeah.
I'll acknowledge it
Yeah,
at
I'm
the
just
very
doing
start.
my mental math.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
I can make it as a
So
mother.
supposing you go on a family holiday,
Hmm.
or supposing you go on, or you identify a day in the week to be a device-free day
Okay.
with the parents leading.
Yeah. Only then, the kids will follow us.
Yes.
Very true.
I'm
Very
hoping for it.
Yeah.
There
And it's
is
going
no,
to be tough.
It is going to be tough.
Yes.
I am
It is going to be tough
completely
even for
acknowledging
parents
it.
as well.
Of course it is.
Because even
Of
when
course
we
it
say,
is.
when we talk about kids, we adults are also so many times addicted.
We are.
So we all know.
Let's acknowledge it that we are
Exactly.
addicted, and
So we all know
it is
that,
unhealthy.
that night routine, sleep routine and everything. But how many of us are actually, using it or applying it to on our lives? So, yeah.
So knowledge is one part, application is a different story altogether.
Okay. So, doctor, what kind of, issues because of all this, what kind of cases that are coming to you?
See, everything.
Can you give some examples?
Everything from physical health issues to brain health issues.
Okay.
School refusal.
Can you just give, little bit, more examples
in
on
terms
this?
of children?
Children, yeah. Teenagers,
Yes.
especially.
See, we understand that social media is a fake society.
Yes.
It is not real.
Hmm.
Right? But teenagers come to me with the complaint that somebody has unfriended me.
Oh.
That I am not being made part of a particular WhatsApp group, or I have been removed from a particular friends group, and it's causing distress.
You come across these kind of cases?
Absolutely. And not only me, even the police is facing these things. You look at any number of complaints with which average young people are going to the police, it is online issue related.
That just reminds me one unfortunate incident that many of us might have read. One very famous influencer, committed suicide simply because she started losing the followers.
Exactly.
So
the matrices of success.
Yeah.
What amounts to a good life or a great life or to a acceptable life? What is success? What is how do we define it? The social media has skewed those understandings.
Okay.
In the end, the quality of your life depends on how many deep and meaningful human relationships you have, which social media cannot provide. Those are not real relationships.
Yes.
Those are just followers. Those are just people to whom you are portraying a false image and they are consuming it. Right?
Yes.
So social media is causing depression. Social media is causing anxiety. Social media is definitely causing sleep issues. It is also causing poor coping mechanisms for that, including addictions.
Yeah. And the growth, everything is getting affected for these kids.
Kids are simply not getting enough physical exercise because of it.
So very true.
So we need to, use these devices. See, there is no way of. There's a very common human failing that we try to do everything in extremes.
Yeah.
No
gadgets
no
suddenly.
gadgets. That's not
Yeah.
realistic.
Yeah.
But a more
Taper it
more
down, maybe.
yes, a more mindful consumption, right?
Mm-hmm.
Understanding that you should be using the gadget instead of the other way around. Not the
Yeah.
gadget using you.
Yeah.
And the parents have to make the
So the
positive
emotional
example.
maturity of parents would also matter here a lot.
Totally.
A
So
lot.
parents have to make an example rather than trying to enforce a rule which would be unfair.
Okay. Wow,
Hmm.
that's amazing. So coming to our next question, doctor, what's the age of youngest patient that you have handled, and what was, if you can share, what was the reason why that child or why that patient had come to you?
So see, I see. I'm not myself specializing in child psychiatry, but
Yeah.
I do have in my organization doctors who deal with
Yeah.
child psychiatry cases. So I will share that,
Yeah.
right? So one good thing is that now there is early diagnosis of certain conditions,
Mhm.
right? Like we say autism.
Hmm.
So what earlier we used to say that around 3 to 4 we should only be becoming more aware about how the child is behaving, and then only think in terms of a diagnostic label or addressing it or treating it. Now the age is advancing, as in children at a younger age now are able to exhibit those
Those symptoms.
where an intervention becomes necessary, right? And to a large extent, again, parents are using these devices as a digital nanny.
Yes, very
बच्चा
true.
खाना नहीं खाता तो उसके सामने एक स्क्रीन रख दो, वो खाना खा लेता है.
Yeah, very true.
So while taking this easy way out, see, now in the end what the child is doing is mindless eating, no?
Yeah, very true. So there is no connection between mind
the food
and
and the activity.
Very true.
Right?
Yeah.
The brain is being occupied by one
So
thing and
because
mechanically
of
something
it
else is
also,
happening.
many issues are happening even in toddlers.
Yes. So even amongst very young kids, see, so several good governments like say France and in Europe, they have come up with very clear-cut guidelines that no content can be created or targeted at a child under 3 years of age.
Wow.
Right?
Do you think that in India something like this
I
will
hope it
ever
happens. I would love it if it happens.
Wow.
That we become more responsible in terms of content being directed towards very young children. And there should be guidelines that at least till 3 years of age, children should not be exposed to screens
any
and
of the
devices.
gadgets.
Right? And definitely, content should not be created specifically targeting very young children. I would want it if that can happen at a policy level. That would be fantastic. We'll be helping our kid have a better brain health down the line.
So very true. So very true. Doctor, next question that I want to discuss is again something which is becoming very, very, unfortunately, very common. That is functional depression, where people have
high functioning depression.
High functioning depression,
Yes.
where people are living very normal life. When we see them, meet them in person, or see their social media, everything is amazing. But they are going through that, all the symptoms of depression.
Yes.
What is your take on this? Like,
so that slow 9 to 5 dying.
Oh,
right.
So you are coming across more patients who belong to the working population.
Right, because the expectation is that you have to be productive.
You have to be productive all the time,
even if you are suffering, and you have to
you
put
have
up
to
a
be
brave
productive.
front.
Let me just again say it, because this sounds so simple, doctor, but this is so true, that you have to be productive even when you are suffering.
Yes.
And according to you, that's the real cause of this
that is a problem,
high functioning
right?
depression.
So see, India as a society, we are great at not taking care of our health.
Yeah.
You look at all these textbooks of surgery and gynecology, you will find that the biggest records, कि जी सबसे बड़ा रसौली कहाँ से निकला, some Indian patient, right? Where did we pull out the biggest fibroid? Again, why? we are so used to living a substandard life and living with a disease.
Yeah. So for us, having all these problems are like very normal.
And all brain related issues are invisible anyway.
Exactly. It's still
You know,
stigma
you
and
don't,
taboo.
it doesn't come up in a
Yeah,
test. You
yeah.
can't blood pressure and know how much stress you are carrying.
Yes.
There cannot be a sugar like test which tells
Where
you what number of stress or depression you are
going through. There is nothing.
Right? And there is no imaging which will tell that this brain is now depressed.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So people many a times, and especially high achievers, intelligent people like we talked about before, they put this extra pressure on themselves to always be productive.
Yeah.
Even though slowly they experience these symptoms that motivation is going low. That anhedonia or the inability to feel pleasure is happening. That they are not enjoying anything which they are doing. That their hobbies now are not fun anymore. That they are just struggling. So they try to probably use maladaptive practices. If they are having anxiety, his friend will say, "दो पैग लगा लिया करना शाम को."
Yes.
नींद नहीं आती ना, अरे यार ये
There
नया
are
ब्रांड
so
आया
many
है,
people
ये
who
try
cannot
करो.
go to sleep without 2 pegs of whiskey.
Exactly. And then
And they take pride in it, unfortunately.
Yes.
कि, मैं तो सो ही नहीं सकता.
So in the US, you remember there used to be a time when if you do not have 2 heart attacks before the age of 40, you are not considered successful.
Oh my goodness. Oh my.
So we need to stop wearing it like a medal.
Yeah, as a badge of honor.
Absolutely not, right?
Yeah.
To say कि भाई मैं तो इतना काम करता हूँ कि मेरे तो हमेशा anxiety रहती है. It's not healthy. It's not sustainable. You are reducing your life. And you are definitely reducing the quality of your life.
Okay.
So to live with more awareness that if I am going through high functioning depression, I'm very glad that we are raising this issue.
Yeah, because
You know,
people
that
just
you are
don't-
working, you are
Exactly.
productive, but you are not happy. And you are
Yes.
showing all other signs of depression. You are cutting down on your social interactions. You're not able to enjoy your life. Your food habits have changed. Either you are gaining weight because of excessive eating or you are completely ignoring your food.
And you're realizing you're harming yourself, but you're still not stopping.
Yes.
Yeah.
So success is not just increasing the pace of life, right?
Yeah.
Success
is
means
improving quality of your life
life.
as well.
Right.
So, doctor, when people, for example, people who are listening to us, many of them will probably have this question that, am I also suffering from this?
Right.
Because the moment we create awareness about this high functioning depression, people realize that I might be going through it.
Yes.
So what kind of, work or what kind of, the stuff that they need to do from their side so that they come out of it? And is it preventable also? Like, if a person realizes that, yes, my life is like this, but I wish to prevent it.
Right.
How exactly that can be done?
So I'll give you an example. When I was a young professional setting up into my own practice and everything, of course, you want to be successful.
Yes.
And we have in India, I think it is very deeply internalized that hard work is the way to success, and that hard work can happen at the cost of your relationships, at the cost of your sleep, at the cost of your own, enjoyment.
In fact, if you don't, you stay awake all throughout your night just to create that success, then you're not creating
You are
success.
probably not working hard enough.
Yes, you're not at all working hard.
Right?
Very true.
So, as a young professional, I suddenly realized one day that I have, and I love cinema. I love going to the theater and watching good cinema. I've my hobby and I enjoy it a lot. I realized one day that for the last 3 years, I have not gone to a cinema. And for me, it was a wake-up call. No, something is wrong. Why am I not following my hobby, something which I enjoy? And is work the end all and the only goal of life? And probably as a psychiatrist, you have the luxury and the training and the knowledge to actually assess yourself a little better.
And acknowledge it better.
That depends on your level of honesty with yourself. Right? But I was able to see the signs and take a deliberate decision that I need to reduce the amount of work I'm doing.
Doctor, I have one question here. If a person is suffering from that high functioning depression, they know everything.
Yes.
Okay, whatever you're saying, definitely making sense to them.
Yeah.
But they do not have that motivation only to do anything. So during that time, what exactly the steps they can follow, where
Sure.
they will get right guidance and they can come out of it.
Sure. So there are different levels of insight. There is intellectual insight. I know
Yeah.
that I am in a problem. बट क्या करूं यार मैं, ये तो ऐसे ही होते हैं, सभी के साथ ऐसे ही होते
Yeah,
हैं.
this is how
This is
life
how
looks
life
like.
is, right?
Yes, midlife crisis.
Yeah. और you know ऐसे ही होते हैं. तो हाँ, इस एज में सभी के साथ यही हो रहा है. And then there is true emotional insight, where you say, yes, this is happening to me, and it is in the long run not healthy. So I probably need to change something. That is where action actually happens towards taking control of your life and making those necessary changes which will serve you in the longer term.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So if you are going through high functioning depression, first, please go see a specialist to actually get yourself properly assessed.
Yeah, diagnosed.
You know,
Yeah.
don't. I mean, there are all kinds of self assessments, and
Yeah,
I'll say
and
it is very
Google is
dangerous.
always,
It is very
answering.
dangerous.
Like,
Right.
am I suffering from high functioning depression? And you will
right.
get everything,
Yes.
and you will decide that okay, I am having.
Yes, but I think
yes.
it is too important to be, dealt with it in such a flippant manner.
Yeah, exactly.
We're talking about the most important organ which you have, which is going to, contribute to everything good which is coming
And
in
what
your
you're
life.
saying is so right, doctor, because most of the people, the moment they realize they're having it, they feel good कि okay, अच्छा मुझे पता है ये हो गया, and that's it. You know,
But that is just the first stage.
Exactly.
It is
because
not
they
the
have the
final
answer.
one.
They feel that they have got the answer. Right. So after that, what exactly?
I would say that meet a professional.
So
share it with
medicines do work here in this. Yeah.
If they work for you.
Yes, of course.
Right.
Yes,
they are working for
100%.
me. I take my medicines.
Okay.
Right. When I was a student, I realized that I did extremely well in vivas, in concept understanding. But when it came to long type answers, I used to struggle. With deeper work, I would have problems. And much later in life, I got diagnosed with my ADHD, adult ADHD, and I am treating myself for that.
Okay. So medicines, so do not look at medicines when it comes to brain health as a taboo also.
No. See, they are there to help you.
That's why I'm taking medicine. You don't have to think about it. Guys, please, I hope you're listening to
Yes.
Doc. And if you are realizing that you're suffering from, any of these conditions, rather than taking that call that, yes, I have it, go meet a specialist, get diagnosed, and do go for medical help if that is what you need. There is nothing wrong in it. Thank you so much, doctor. Coming from you, this means a lot.
And I think, awareness is a very important part of my job.
Yeah.
My job is not just to diagnose and help people manage and treat their conditions.
Yeah.
It is also part of my duty to tell people that, boss, it is all right. I mean, at one point in time, did we not normalize that, yes, after a certain age, maybe hypertension की गोली तो सबको लगी जाती है.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And we accept कि वो lifelong चलेगी.
Yeah.
Right? If you have diabetes, if you have type 1 diabetes, insulin dependent, you make your peace with it कि सुबह शाम एक injection तो लगाना ही होगा.
Very true.
Right? And it is never a very enthusiastic choice which you make. In fact, you have no choice.
Very true.
It is the disease and the condition which dictates what treatment you'll need to take.
But doctor, what is your experience? Do people come out of it, or do they have to take their medicines for the rest of their life for high function depression, anxiety, panic attacks?
Highly variable stories, right? Like in your case, there was a certain amount when you needed that support. उसके बाद ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ी.
Yeah.
So depending on, I always say that we should have our goals in clarity. What are we looking for?
Yeah. What do I want to achieve?
Right?
Having this specialist in my life.
Medicines and therapy and all those modalities, they are just the tools
to help
you reach that goal.
Very true.
Those experts are best placed to help you use those tools effectively.
Yes.
Right? If you have to build a house, I mean, in theory कि वो ईंट के साथ ईंट ही लगानी है, but you hire a mason.
Very true.
Right?
Yes.
Because he's specialized in using that tool to the right degree.
Yeah. So meet right person.
So you meet the right person, let them take the call. What you have to do is hold your specialist accountable to the result.
Yes.
कि डॉक्टर साहब मैं दवाई खा रहा हूँ पर मेरी नींद ठीक नहीं लग रही अभी भी मुझे. There is scope for improvement. मेरा मूड डॉक्टर साहब अभी भी ना मुझे लग रहा है कि आई एम स्टिल नॉट देयर.
Be honest
I don't feel like myself
with
yet.
your specialist. Yeah.
Yes. Share it with them. Any good doctor will appreciate this positive feedback loop where they are coming to know of what is happening
Yeah.
and they can fine tune the
Yeah,
treatment
the
to
more
make.
honest you are, the better would be the
Absolutely.
treatment.
Absolutely.
Very true. And from there now, doctor, coming to the next topic of adult ADHD.
Ah,
Again, this is becoming very, very common. So, what again
Yes.
are the symptoms for this? Adult
Okay.
ADHD is spoken so widely.
Yes.
What
yes,
are the
yes.
peculiar symptoms of the same?
So when we talk about ADHD as a brain condition,
Mm-hmm.
let me tell you one thing. Every brain has a AD process.
Okay.
Every human brain has a attention deficit
Deficiency.
process.
Yeah.
Just like it has a obsessive compulsive process.
Yeah.
These are various circuits in the brain, various pathways which are activated to different degrees in different brains. Right?
Yeah.
And you have no control over them.
Control
This
over
is
it.
part of your genetic makeup and your genetic lottery.
Hmm.
We can't choose our genes. They are what they are. It's a hand which has been dealt to us by chance.
Yeah.
Right?
Very true.
So, ADHD as a disease entity, as a problem statement, was only diagnosed in 1980s.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It was codified and it was studied and it was written that yes, this kind of behavior happens because of a brain process and it causes three major symptoms.
Okay.
Number one, inattention.
Okay.
As in, you are not able to put deep attention into day-to-day boring tasks.
Okay.
Right? The second one is very quick distractibility.
Hmm.
So those kids who are trying to study, but they see a butterfly or little movement around them and are immediately distracted.
Yeah.
Now
Doctor,
those,
it's very common
it
among
is very
kids.
common,
So,
exactly.
yeah. So
And
do
I
you-
feel it is
yeah.
unfair to expect very young kids to have deep focus
completely
because
focused.
it's not
Yes,
natural.
Yes, yes.
Luckily, the AD process with age reduces in everybody.
Reduces. Oh,
It reduces,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
But if it persists in a school going child, then of course you need to look at it as a problem
Oh,
because
this is a beautiful,
Huh.
Point that AD process
will reduce over
a period of
lifetime.
time.
Yes.
But if it does not, then it can probably give rise to adult ADHD.
two problems,
yeah,
where
two problems.
and untreated ADHD in a small percentage of people will persist into adulthood.
But can it get diagnosed like perfectly?
Absolutely.
Okay.
As in, see, the three basic symptoms.
Yeah. So first we understood
Inattention,
second.
Inattention, distractibility, and third one is impulsivity.
What are the
Impulsivity meaning,
examples
so
of this?
impulsivity meaning taking sudden decisions without looking at the long-term picture, leaving a job in between,
Oh.
right? So you will find if somebody has a history of quitting a job very quickly because it
Yes.
got boring, I did not like the atmosphere, it was not challenging or whatever. But if there's a pattern of people quitting these jobs or quitting probably relationships very quickly for novelty,
Yes,
You know,
yes, yes.
it could be a pointer towards the ADHD process. And I'm saying with full responsibility, don't just take these symptoms
Symptoms
and
just on
label
face of it.
yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Go for a proper diagnosis.
And get
It's an entire
diagnosed.
process.
Very true.
Right? I'm just
Yes.
pointing at most common
Yeah,
symptoms.
Yeah.
Right? So
This is just to give
very-
the knowledge and create the awareness. This is not
Absolutely. This is
how you
not
should get diagnosed.
in lieu
Yes.
of a medical consultation.
Yes, you need to
right?
meet a specialist, professional,
Yes.
to call if it is adult ADHD. So we are
Absolutely.
making it very clear here. Doc is here. We are very thankful that he's creating awareness, but kindly do not label it just by listening to this podcast. This
Yes.
podcast should definitely help you in pushing you to meet a right person so that you come out of it and not label yourself with any
Yes.
problems, right?
Yes.
Doctor, thank you so very
Right.
much for this.
So
Yes.
I started treating myself in my late 40s.
Oh my God. Oh,
Right.
okay.
And I suddenly found that, it's not that I am lazy or that I am, unable to do it. It's just that I have an active ADHD process which prevents me from doing deep work.
Okay.
So today I can do better academic work than I could as a student.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And it's a missed opportunity. I agree with that. But I don't blame anyone for it. Like I said, it started being codified in the 80s. It started being taught in medical colleges in the 90s. By that time, I was already in my medical college and studying and suffering from it.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
So there are a lot of adults who an entire generation of them who missed being diagnosed in those days.
Exactly.
And they were probably labeled as problem kids, as hyperactive bacha, ye bas tik ke nahi baith sakta. They would have bad handwriting. They would be missing out on spellings a lot. And their teachers routinely would tell their parents ke potential bahut hai. He's not able to unlock it. He's intelligent but careless.
Yes.
Many
and then
times.
when it comes to adults, we many times say that बच्चों जैसी हरकतें कर रहे हैं.
हाँ.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's how we just, call them
Label
that, there is no maturity,
and we
zero
leave
maturity to this person.
Yes.
And we just label that person.
Yes.
So doctor, now when it comes to this adult ADHD, what can be the reasons? Is it like unprocessed childhood trauma, or is it something related to genetics? What is your observation when you are treating adult ADHD?
So, Amrita, one thing which I understand in case of all non-communicable diseases, whether it is hypertension, whether it is a history of diabetes in a family, whether it is certain amounts of cancers which we see within certain families, and also the entire spectrum of brain-related disorders or dysfunctions, right? It is strongly, and rather I would say only genetic in nature. Your die was cast in your genetic code.
Okay.
Right? It got uncovered and it might have been triggered, and the symptoms might have happened after a certain stress, which we today call as traumas or certain negative experiences.
And that's the reason every person does not.
And we tend to hyper focus on that trauma, which does not solve the problem. We need to look at what is the genetic process which needs to be gently maybe just modulated, just changed a little bit. So today if I say that my ADHD happened because my teachers did not give me enough attention or something like that, then I'm not looking at a solution-based approach.
Very true. You're just looking at probably source, one of the sources.
Or I'm just trying to blame somebody.
Yeah, very true.
Rather than working on a process and a treatment plan which can actually help me.
Very true.
So trauma many a times I feel is overemphasized, and unfortunately we'll be making the same mistake which the good Dr. Freud made of making the mothers the villains of everything. Everything was early childhood trauma or some
Nowadays,
mistake
trauma
on
is
the part
also-
of the mother.
Exactly.
And it would be unfair to do
Yeah,
that.
very, very true. Very true.
We don't choose our genes, do we?
Exactly.
We can choose our circumstances to some extent. That entire debate of nature versus nurture, I think, is now strongly going in favor of nature. That it's nature which will overcome a lot of nurture. That people you will see who have had very tough and rather difficult circumstances in their young life, but because they came from a very good stock of genetic components, they were able to go through that and rise to great heights in life.
So, Doc, my next question is again, kind of very close to my heart, and what we are discussing only, what kind of role genetics play in this mental health? Because as I discussed earlier, I come from a family where mental health issues or brain health issues, as you say, run into, my generation. And right now we are having from my father's side, fourth generation who is, suffering from the same. So, if I have to, talk very vulnerably here in this podcast, then we almost took all our lives. Like I have spent my entire life creating the stories around each and every person who has suffered in each generation.
Right.
We created stories that comforted us. Comforted us.
Yes.
And today we are actually looking at, logical explanation of the same. So my question to you is, to what extent a person suffering from these brain health issues, can come out of it? What are the chances? What is from your observation?
Wonderful. See, this is firstly, thank you for sharing those, personal, very deeply, I would say these are kept like family secrets.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about it.
Yes.
They are pushed under the carpet, and people prefer to give alternate explanations for that, right? But you had very honestly shared with me, right, that there have been clear-cut signs that something wasn't right. And in my own practice and in Mindsmith, we routinely take a 3-generation history.
Okay.
Right? Now, in those times, we did not have the vocabulary for it. नहीं वो ना हमारे दादाजी थे, वो बस थोड़ा सा ना अपने आप में ही रहते थे, चुपचाप रहते थे.
Yes, very exactly. This is how I have heard all the stories about
Right?
everyone.
बट अच्छा, उनके एक भाई थे, वो पता नहीं 15-16 साल की उम्र में ना वो घर छोड़ के चले गए, फिर उसके बाद मिले ही नहीं.
Yeah.
Now,
फिर फैमिली के
for
ऊपर
me,
ब्लैक मैजिक हो गया.
हाँ,
You know, फिर
हाँ.
बच्चे को ऐसे हो
So,
गया.
जहाँ पे
this-
साइंस नहीं होती ना, वहाँ पे हम किसी कहानी से, किसी माइथोलॉजी से उसको कवर करने की
that's how we
कोशिश
comfort
करते हैं.
and create logical
Right,
explanation.
create yes.
My
logical
entire life has
explanation.
gone into like listening to these stories, doctor.
Yes.
So all these things really hit differently when you're talking about it.
Exactly. Whereas what we need to now look at is what is the genetics telling us,
Okay.
right? If there are these stories, what kind of a behavior are we talking about? What kind of a brain process would have caused that behavior? And now we are better equipped to predict as to what can happen and make sense of the current behavior in our younger generation, right? So it empowers us.
Yes.
Having knowledge of your family's history,
Yeah.
right, is a clue into the genetic past.
Yeah.
And for modern psychiatry, for modern doctors, it is worth its weight in gold. It tells us so many things,
Wow.
right?
Yes.
So if you can get that history and share it whenever you feel, that a child or somebody young or yourself, that you need to understand your brain better.
Yeah.
All these things are hints
But
to
a person can come out of it.
Absolutely. In this day and age, see, when our country got independence, you will be shocked at what the expected life expectancy was in India.
What was it?
It was 28 years.
My God.
You'll be shocked.
We are already living on bonus. I feel that way.
No. So
Yeah.
and there were, very specific events which were responsible for it. The Great Bengal famine happened. A lot of young deaths happened. Today, we have a life expectancy which is above 70, and in good urban areas or even rural areas, where we see good level of nutrition, good medical health care available, and proper vaccination, hygiene, all these things are met. We see our family members living in their 90s also these days,
very
right?
True, very true.
So all that has happened because of advancements in modern medicine.
Very true.
Right? Let's give it its due. Like smallpox as a disease, we were able to eliminate it completely in 1977. Earlier, smallpox used to eliminate entire villages, entire communities. They would die of smallpox. There used to be plague episodes which were Mahamari.
Yeah.
Where people used to die young.
Yeah, now we don't
even hear of it.
Yeah, very true.
So all that has happened.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All that has happened because of advancements in medicine. Now just look at your smartphone. Look at the car which you drive and compare it with the car which your parents were driving and the phone which you had at your home, the trunk dial one, 30 years back.
Yeah.
Now, if those technologies have come so far, why are we not able to accept that medical science has also come
and we will
at
come
the
out of
same
it.
level, if not better?
Yes. All we need is to acknowledge and meet a right person to come
Meet the right
out
expert.
of it.
The solutions are available.
Yes.
Yes. We don't know a lot about the brain, but we know enough to help
people and get them out of it. Yeah.
Yes.
Doctor, now next topic, almost the last topic I would say, is kind of very deep. And this is my question since I was almost 12 or 13-year-old, which is related to a suicide. Okay. So I'll tell you my own story, why this question has haunted me all these years. And probably I feel today I'm going to get an answer. So I was 12-year-old when I have witnessed a suicide in front of me, that too by my friend's elder brother. He was 16, 17. Right. And we, of course, did not know anything. We just happened to enter the house and we happened to see that. Since that day, even right now I'm talking, I can feel that, my heart getting heavy. So my question was, because I had just played with, him and his brother 2 days back. Right. Everything was fine. We were, sharing jokes and we were just, planning our summer vacation, what exactly we would be doing and this and that. And after 2 days, he was gone. And after that, I have come across, we all come across so many suicides where
Yes.
people otherwise looked normal,
Yes.
and one fine day they were just gone. So what exactly leads to this kind of suicide? Is it always a built up, or is it like sudden decision?
All right. So I'm so glad that you are asking this question, because suicide as a cause of death amongst the young is a fastest growing number. It has already overtaken accidents as a cause of death amongst the young. And we need to acknowledge it, we need to address it, and we need to understand it better. The first thing I will say is that every suicide is preventable, right? Every person, almost every person, the statistics. Dr. Anjali Chhabadiya, my colleague from Bombay, she's a psychiatrist. She has written a book about it. Death is not the answer. And she has tried to go very deeply into the topic of suicide.
Okay.
I would recommend everybody who feels curious about the topic of suicide, and
Death is not
anybody who wants to educate themselves about it should definitely read that book, right? Suicide, it has been researched and found that the person who completes a suicide shares that intention, that even to some extent the plan, with at least 5 to 7 people before the act,
Okay.
right? Many a times it is a slow build up. It could be a cause of untreated depression, suicide, the final sequelae as a medical condition of untreated depression, of other kinds of brain illnesses like psychosis, right? Or it could be some immediate event because of which the person takes an impulsive decision.
So it can be both ways,
It
built
can
up
be
as
both
well
ways.
as
It can be a slow build up. It can be an immediate choice in an impulsive person who feels that something, something so drastic has happened in their life. It could be public shame. Very recently there was that a child, very, very young child
Yeah.
again, was punished by a shopkeeper for suspicion of shoplifting. This happened a couple of days back, and the child couldn't stand that public trauma and ended his life.
Yeah.
Right? So it can be immediate based on a single incident. It can be a build up slowly, and during that build up, that person many a times shares that suicidal intention. Now, I'll ask you a question, and I'll ask every viewer to ask themselves this. Supposing a good friend comes up to you and says, I think I don't want to live anymore. I think I want to just end my life. How are you going to answer this?
I think I will definitely ask the person to.
So
Yeah.
most average answers will be,
Would-
ऐसी बातें नहीं करते.
Yeah.
Don't talk like
Yeah.
this. Don't think negative.
Yeah. Yeah,
Let's not do this.
This again is a problem nowadays because
Exactly.
people believe so much in manifestation, which is a true thing.
Right.
But लोगों को लगता है कि negative mindset की वजह से ये सब बातें हो रही है. Don't be so
Exactly.
negative.
Yes.
Manifest
But
good
it's
life.
It's not negativity.
But what about a person when the person is going
Yes.
through a brain health
You know
issue?
what the problem is? That person is feeling helpless.
Exactly.
And he's feeling in pain.
And then we talk
And
about positivity.
They're not exactly. You are doing a disservice.
Exactly.
By telling him that your emotions are not valid,
Yes.
you need to think differently.
Yeah, change the mindset. Mindset change
Is it
करो,
that
सब कुछ
simple?
अच्छा हो जाएगा.
Is
Yeah,
it
is
that
it that simple?
Do you switch a flip?
Yes.
What do you do? Think
Yeah.
positive? No,
I would
it can't
definitely,
happen.
doctor, like to, tell our, viewers, if you are going through something like this, and if your surrounding, your friends, your family, they are simply asking you to change your mindset. You have tried every possible thing, but
Yeah.
still it's not working. Please understand, it's not always about your negative mindset.
Yes.
You truly need medical support. You need somebody to guide you, help you to come out of it. So not everything is related to just mindset work.
Right.
There is something called as health issue, health condition. Please do consider it. One of the biggest reason why we are having this beautiful podcast today is to make you realize that you can't manifest a life when you are having a problem in your life, an actual condition, a brain condition.
Yes.
So, and doctor is, putting it and sharing it in the most amazing way. So please make a note of it.
And instead of getting defensive or
Exactly.
challenging this
Yes.
belief, I think it's very important that what that person is doing is a cry for help,
Yes.
right? If
Very
they
true.
say this, acknowledge it. Okay, you are feeling like this and it can happen.
Yeah.
I understand it. It can happen. I may not be able to feel what you are feeling, but yes, it can happen. Let's talk about it.
Hmm.
And the next step, I would say, treat it as a medical emergency.
Okay.
Tell them, boss, look, I'll go with you. Let's meet a psychiatrist. Let's meet a specialist. This is not normal. Let's not ignore this. If you're having these thoughts, okay, you may be successful in life. In fact, that is the bigger problem.
Yeah.
That there is nothing visibly wrong
Wrong
in your
life.
environment or in your
Yes.
life. But those thoughts are coming.
Yeah.
So it is the right time to treat it as a medical emergency and get the right help.
Yes. Oh, very
Just
true.
a little bit of empathy, a little bit of not debating it, but sitting with that person and saying, come, let's solve it together.
Coming to, we have discussed about, your profession and the kind of people that you meet, the way you are helping people. But because you are into this field and you, meet so many people going through this deep trauma and you help them day in, day out, like that's your profession. How do you exactly take care of your own mental health?
Oh yes. So I will say that my primary focus is on getting a good night's sleep.
Okay.
Number one.
Okay.
I try never to compromise my sleep hours.
Okay.
Right? Even if I have to sometimes medicate myself for sleep, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Right? I understand which medicines are working well for me. I use that to sleep well.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Okay.
That is number one.
Number one.
Number two is to be more regular with my exercise routines.
Okay.
Right? So that I can actually see, exercise is a fantastic thing for your brain health.
Yeah. So therapy,
Healthy,
kind of a therapy for your.
see, therapy is an overused word. I will not say therapy. I'll say it's a necessity.
Yeah. Okay.
A healthy mind in a healthy body.
Yes.
I totally believe that.
Healthy mind and healthy body. Very
Yes.
true. Yes.
Right. So because it is all one system only.
Yes.
There is we should not artificially say that the brain is different and
you
the
can't
body is different. No,
compartmentalize these things.
they are the same
Yes,
system.
Very true.
The healthier and more robustly you are using your body, the better it is for your brain health. Right. Plus, I have the luxury of having a very good psychiatrist in my life. Right.
Okay.
I don't treat myself. I have a friend who I trust implicitly.
Okay.
He has put me on a regimen which helps me stay at my best in terms of my medicines.
Okay.
And I regularly consult with
So
him.
this one thing is most amazing. Even doctor has a doctor and he totally surrenders. So guys, this is definitely, a sign for all of us, because many times we all feel that, I don't need any help. मुझे ज़रूरत नहीं है. Self-help book read कर लेंगे and, everything will be fine. So all those people who feel that you do not need help, even when you know that, something is not correct with you, please always and always have what he just said as a reminder. In spite of being so successful in his life, creating such amazing results, he is still surrendering to another psychiatrist, and he is not looking at himself at that time as a doctor, but as a person who needs help.
Yes.
So if he can take that help, why can't us? Yes, doctor, this is such an amazing thing that you have shared.
Every time I share it, people tend to get overly excited about it.
Yeah, because
but I want to normalize it. See, I could be a diabetic doctor with diabetes.
But it doesn't come that easily, doctor, probably.
I believe it should.
Yeah. So probably in your world,
should
it's
be
very common.
natural.
But for us,
No,
it's
I
not
do
very
understand.
common.
I do understand that even psychiatrists have a lot of misconceptions about their own medicine sometimes.
Yes, can
right?
be very true.
But in this day and age, I believe that if you are a good psychiatrist, by now you should have found, with the help of your colleagues and your own, knowledge, something which will make your brain work better. In the end, it's all about
Just
making
getting
this
quality
one
life. Yeah, improving the quality of life should be the only
absolutely.
aim.
For me, it's
Where-
only a quality of life
Wow.
question.
So where people talk about, money and success, you
Ah,
actually, are talking about what really matters. Improve quality of
yes.
life by improving your,
And your
brain
success
health.
will follow,
Very
right?
true.
You will be, in the end, see, does money contribute to your happiness beyond a point?
No,
I don't think so,
absolutely no.
right? Does
Yeah, it
your
just
social
creates comfort.
position,
Yeah.
yes, right? Beyond a point.
Beyond a point,
below
yes.
a certain
yes.
level, money or lack of it will cause misery and
Yeah.
problems, right?
But after a point,
It cannot.
Yeah.
It cannot add to your happiness.
very true.
After that point, I think you should be looking at what actually contributes to overall perceived quality of life.
Wow.
Right?
Amazing, amazing.
Hmm.
And now our last question, Doctor, but I think the most important one. As a CEO and founder of Mindsmith India, what are your future plans?
So my plans are to make this country and this world a better place, one brain at a time.
One brain at a time. And where can we see, Mindsmith India coming up next?
Oh, we do have quite a few ideas, which we
Okay.
will be unrolling briefly, in the coming couple of months.
Wow.
And a few cities are on our target. We have started doing our homework on them. As soon as it happens, definitely we will inform our viewers and everybody.
Amazing. We all are looking forward, and all the viewers here, we are tagging, Doctors Mindsmith India Foundation, Sir's ID here. So if you are someone who is struggling, who are not understanding exactly how things can work out, kindly do connect with him and his team. You will definitely be thankful that you listened to this podcast and something amazing came out of it. And Doctor, now before we close this, I want to have a quick rapid fire with you,
Okay.
where I'll be asking you certain questions, and I want a quick answer from you.
All
So are we
right.
ready?
No overthinking.
Okay. One line or a thought that always calms your mind.
This too shall pass.
Ah, wow, very nice. Therapy or meditation? What's more underrated?
Medicines.
Okay,
Neither therapy
the
nor
third-
meditation.
the
I'll say
third
medicines
answer.
are hugely underrated.
Wow.
In the last 2 decades, if
Yeah.
you ask me what is the biggest revolution that has happened in brain health, I'll say the quality of our molecules.
Medicine. Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's a beautiful answer. And I think even today's podcast has created this awareness about medicines, which is still considered as a
Both of
taboo.
us are benefited
Yes.
from it.
Very
right?
true. Very
So
true.
we'll be doing a disservice if we don't give it the credit where it is due.
Exactly. Very true. Very true. One mental health myth that you would like to bust today.
It's not that complicated.
Wow. It's not
Right?
that complicated.
In the end, the brain's job is to maintain the equilibrium. Stress reduces the brain's capacity to maintain the equilibrium. There are treatments available. Don't overthink it.
Amazing. One best moment you look out in every patient that you treat. One best moment.
So, whenever a patient is able to do the things which they have always wanted to do, their own personal goals, their own personal achievements, and it is different for everybody, right? So, whenever they cross that mental barrier,
So at
whenever
one point
they
felt
achieve
helpless.
a certain goal, yes,
Yeah. And
I feel so lucky
wow.
and so blessed to have been part of that journey.
Wow. That's so beautiful. One book that transformed your way of looking at life.
So many of them.
Just one.
A Whole New Mind by Daniel Pink. A
I
Whole
hope
New
you're making
Mind.
note of it.
Oh,
Yes.
it's a fantastic book. Yes.
Wow. Amazing. I'm going to read this next. In one word, what does a healthy mind sound to you or look like?
Balance.
Balance. Wow. Simple. And finish this sentence. The mind is not a machine. It is.
There is no mind. There is the brain.
Okay. If mind is not machine, then it's just brain. Nothing.
It is the brain, everything. Even though my company is called Mindsmith.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
but we have evolved from the brainless mind to now a mindless brain.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Very true. Very true.
When I'm treating, I don't treat the mind, I treat the brain.
Wow, amazing. And what a banger episode we had. Doctors, thank you so very much. And I'm sure that we have discussed so many things. This is definitely not the only episode we would be coming up with. We will definitely have more insights on it. We will go definitely deeper into it. And I hope you enjoyed, discussing and creating awareness as much as we all enjoyed it here today.
Thank you for this opportunity, Amrita. I really look forward to it. If you want to do a follow-up podcast, I'll be all up for it.
Thank you so, so, so very much.
Thank you.
Yes.